So in this lecture we're going to look at words connected to chemistry. And your 7 words are agent, atom, molecule, compound, soluble, insoluble, and crystal. So the first word, agent. Agent. A chemical that has a particular effect or is used for a particular purpose can be referred to as an agent, as a chemical agent or a biological agent, if it has a particular effect or a particular purpose. So, for example, white bread contains a chemical agent that bleaches the flour. It makes the flour white. It makes the bread white. He found that this chemical agent can produce birth defects. The agent reacted with body tissue with serious effects. It's probably a biological agent. So you can have a chemical agent, a biological agent, a bleaching agent, a clotting agent. Clotting agents make liquid, such as blood, much thicker. The next word is atom. Atom. An atom is the smallest amount of a substance that can take part in a chemical reaction. Here's a diagram of an atom as well. For example, a methane molecule is composed of 1 carbon atom attached to 4 hydrogen atoms. He was the scientist who was first to split the atom. There are substantial fears about their capacity to spread atomic weapons. So you can split the atom, that's a very common collocation, but also carbon atom or oxygen atom, hydrogen atom, an atom bomb. An atom contains. So atom. And you can have atoms, of course, and atomic is the adjective for atom. And then next, molecule. Molecule. A molecule is the smallest amount of a chemical substance which can exist by itself. So an atom can't exist by itself, but a molecule can. At least when we're talking about matter, about substances. Here's a diagram of a molecule. Lots of atoms joined together. At high temperatures, the strands of the DNA molecule start to come apart. Molecules are made up of atoms that are held together by chemical bonds. A water molecule is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 oxygen atom. So you can have an organic molecule, a water molecule. So a molecule of something, a molecule of water, and you bind a molecule. So molecule. You can have molecules, and the adjective is molecular. Molecular. So molecule, molecular, molecular structure. Compound is your next word, compound. So a compound is a substance that consists of 2 or more elements, and here's a diagram of what a compound is. So organic compounds contain carbon in their molecules. Gasoline is essentially a compound of carbon and hydrogen. So you can have an organic compound, you can have a synthetic compound and a chemical compound. And you can have a compound of something. Your next word is soluble. Soluble. So if a substance is soluble, it dissolves in a liquid like these pills here. They dissolve in a liquid. And at the end of the word soluble, it looks a little bit like able. It can be done It can dissolve. Something can dissolve if it's soluble. So sugar is soluble in water, and some are soluble in water as shown by the discoloration of the substances on which they grow. So we often talk about something is soluble in something, a soluble substance. Something is soluble, and if it can't dissolve, it's insoluble. Insoluble. So it doesn't dissolve in a liquid. So, for example, sand is insoluble in water. And there's the prefix in. So not un, but insoluble. Carotenes are insoluble in water and soluble in oil. A mask of pure, insoluble collagen fibre is placed over the skin. So again, we talk about something is insoluble in something, an insoluble substance. Something is insoluble. Your next word is crystal. Crystal. So a crystal is a small piece of a substance that has formed naturally into a regular shape, a symmetrical shape. A little bit like the diagram shows you here. So, for example, the symmetrical shape of an ice crystal is due to depositional growth, and it's usually grown in a symmetrical way. This process is used to grow single crystals to be used as semiconductors. So, for example, silicon crystals can be grown. So a crystal of something, we say. A silicon crystal, you grow a crystal, you form a crystal. So crystal, you can have crystals, and the process, or the verb is crystallizing, and the process is crystallization. Crystallization is the process of crystallizing something. So there are your 7 chemistry words then. Agent, atom, molecule, compound, soluble, insoluble, crystal.